Hey everybody, thanks again for joining me today on Worship Guitar Now. I'd like to thank everybody who's been watching my videos and liking them and subscribing to the channel. It's people like you who make this channel better. On my last video, I did some work on this guitar here. It's a Squier Paranormal Telecaster. And what I didn't like about this guitar was the back side of the neck was really glossy. Now to some people they like a glossy neck. To me I prefer a satin neck. So what I did in the video was I took some 400 sandpaper and some 1500 sandpaper and sanded the gloss off the neck. And it turned out really good. But one thing that I found with the guitar still is a couple of the frets are just a little sharp. Not a big deal, but it kind of bothers me. So what I thought I'd do today was maybe take some more sandpaper and a little block and maybe try to sand those frets down just a little bit, just to make it a little bit smoother. And the other thing that I'm going to do is, I'm going to polish the back of that neck. I have some polish that I picked up at my local HD dealer that I use on my bike, and I thought I'd give it a try. Like always, I'll film it all, I'll show you step by step what I do, and I'll show you the end results. So just give me a moment to get my camera repositioned and my lighting, and we'll tackle this together. Okay, I'm back. Originally I thought I was going to need a sanding block, my 400 sandpaper, and my HD polish. But I'm actually not going to use a sanding block. I kind of trust my hand a little bit better on the guitar neck. So what I'm doing first is I'm just pulling that string out of the way with my opposite hand. And you want to get on the same angle as the cut of the fret. And what I'm going to do with each fret is, I'm just going to make a few passes up and down. And all I'm going to do is about 4 frets at a time. And that's just going to take the sharp edge off the frets. And then what I'm going to do after I do the up and down part on it, I'm just going to go back and forth a little bit. Not much pressure at all. And it's important to stay at the same angle that the fret is cut on. Now again, like I said in my last video, I wouldn't recommend anybody to do this who's not comfortable doing it. Especially with a vintage or a custom guitar. It's better to let the guitar shop do stuff like that. But this guitar is my own, and I don't plan on getting rid of it, so I'm not worried about trying it myself. But again, if you're not comfortable, take it to a guitar shop and let them do it. So as I continue to pull that low E string back, I'll move on to the next 4 frets, and I'll repeat what I just did. I'm going to go up and down a few times on each fret, same angle as the fret cut. And I'll do 4 more. And then I'm going to do the back and forth part. And then I'll do 4 more again. And then back and forth again. I'm starting to feel a difference already. But the key to getting this right is to taking your time. You never want to rush at stuff like this. When you get into the upper frets, it's going to get a little bit harder. So I'm going to do as many as I can comfortably, and then the rest I'm not really going to worry about too much. Again, the key is to just taking your time. And if at any point you feel like you're not doing the job you expected, it's best just to stop. And I'll do a little bit of circular motion too. Alright, I'm going to stop for a minute. I'm going to check out my job so far. Yeah, I'm really liking that. Yeah, I'm really liking that. Yeah, I'm really liking that compared to the other side. You can really feel a difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a piece of 1500 really quick. And I'll be right back and we'll touch that up a little bit more before we move to the other side. Okay, I'm back with my 1500. And what this is going to do, it's going to smooth it out even more. Okay, I'm pretty comfortable with that side. I think I'm going to switch it over and do the opposite side now. So switching back to my 400 sandpaper, I'm just doing the same thing. I'm going to pull that bottom string out of the way, and this time I'm going to start with some of the upper frets. And I can feel those improving already. I'll start to move down to the lower frets. And again, I can't stress this enough. I'm staying on the same angle as the cut of the fret. And I'm just doing a tiny bit at a time, just touching it up just a little bit. Starting to get much better already. The back of the neck feels really good too. And that's due to the sanding that I did in the last video. If you didn't catch that last video, go ahead and check it out on my channel. I think you'll really like it. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to the 1500 paper again. I'm just going to check my work again. Yeah, I'm really liking the way this come out. So what I think I'll do now is, I'll call that finished with the sandpaper, and I'll get a cloth and I'll do the polishing part to the back of the neck. Okay, I'm just going to give everything a good wipe first, just to get some of the dust and the residue from the sandpaper off. Okay, now I'm going to flip the guitar over. I'm going to apply some polish to the back of the neck. And because I didn't use this sanding block here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that for a little support for the neck. And I'm not telling anybody they should use this kind of polish on their guitar. The reason I'm using this polish is because I had it for my bike. I had it kicking around the house, and I thought I'd give it a try. And again, this guitar is not a custom guitar. It's not a vintage guitar. And I'm not worried about damaging it. Though I don't want to damage it, it is a guitar that I plan on keeping, and I think it's going to be fine with this polish. But I would recommend that you read the instructions on any polish that you use on your guitar. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake up this polish first. And then I'm going to apply a little bit to the rag. I'm using a terry cloth. I'm just going to apply it to the back of the neck of the guitar in a circular motion. I'm making sure that I get the side of the fretboard too, which includes the side of the frets. And I'm just rubbing it on in that circular motion. Not being too fancy with it. Just making sure I get a little bit of polish on it. And I'm going to get some on the whole neck. And then we'll just leave it dry for a few minutes. Let me know in the comments if you've ever tried this to one of your guitars and how it came out. I'd be interested in knowing if anybody's tried anything like this before, and maybe even the products that they've used. Sometimes if you have a guitar around the house that's not overly expensive. It's nice to try to do some of the things yourself on it. It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, and a lot of the times if you take your time, you can do things just fine. There's a lot of videos out there that give you the information you need to do small jobs like this. All you have to do is pick through them and find the ones that you like and trust. Okay, I got the polish applied. I'm just going to leave it sit for a few minutes and dry, and then we'll come back and buff it off. Okay, if you remember, we put the polish on in a circular motion. We're going to take it off the same way. We're just going to use a dry cloth, and we're just going to go in a circular motion and rub it off. And as we go, we'll just check once in a while to see what it feels like. And I really like the way that's starting to feel. And I know with my bike, the more times you polish it, the better the paint becomes. At least that's what I think, anyways. Okay, I have all the polish off the neck now. I'm just going to give it one last inspection to see what it's like. And it feels a whole lot better than when I started. I'm really satisfied with this job. I don't think I wrecked anything. I didn't have to pay somebody a whole bunch of money to do it. And I think it's better than when I started. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It's people like you who make this channel better.